Hello, band practice. Welcome. Oh wait. I'll try it again.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna leave that one in.
Perfect. Hey everyone, welcome back to band practice. I'm Emma.
And I'm Madison. Emma is in a very silly, goofy mood
I
today.
am. It's because I look a little silly and a little goofy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're all just listening and not watching on YouTube, but I have these fun little like cheek face masks on and they just look a little funny, and so I've just kind of decided to run with that vibe.
Yeah,
Really
really.
fully encompass it.
Yes, I was gonna say embody, encompass.
Mhm.
You are, yeah, just all around giving silly and goofy, and I love that
Thank
you
you.
you brought that to the table today. I really appreciate it.
Yes. Yes. I'm also feeling really funny and goofy about this episode because we have recorded this before. And instead of like having like the frustration of like once again us recording together. So we tried to record together in person last week, which is why we missed an episode, because every time for some reason we try to record together, we test it, we take like a sound clip for a few minutes, just yippee yapping, and we listen back and it sounds great, and then we record a full episode and the audio is trash, like not
Trash.
usable.
I know. The test is always like better than ever, like the crispiest audio
Yes.
we've ever had. And so we're like, oh my God, perfect. Like this episode is going to be amazing. And then I got it ready to edit and stuff and started editing. And I was like, hey, Emma, like this is unusable. We have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But by the time we realized that, it was the day that I was flying home. And so
Mhm.
we had no time
Mm-mm.
to re-record. It was really a tragedy. I think Emma and I both get really frustrated with stuff like that. So we were
Yeah.
like, I was feeling aggressive. Like
Yeah.
we had to just scrap it and like forget about it for a week.
No, exactly. And that's why I'm trying to come in today with a fun mood, because I will be saying the same things as I did last time.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think you and I, well, obviously I know that you are a perfectionist as well. And so especially when it comes to the podcast, something that's like so public facing, like I want it to always feel like the best we could have given each episode. So we're doing a little round two, and we haven't even told you have we said what we're recording?
No.
That is so funny. Well, you all probably read the title, but go ahead and tell them.
So today we're doing a little girl talk episode. I know that this is going to be a great episode because it turned out great last time.
Yeah, it was my favorite episode. After we recorded last time, I was like, I think this is my favorite episode.
I know, that's why it was like an extra bummer, because it was so fun and we were together. But we're gonna bring the same energy today and make it just as fun. We're gonna be talking about all the nitty-gritty things, just about being a woman.
Yeah.
Periods, birth control, sex, all the things.
All of them.
And yes, I love when people make episodes about this where like maybe they overshare a little bit too much or just like spill all the details.
Yeah.
And it just really brings the girlies together. So I feel like we're due for a very exposing ourselves episode like this.
Yeah, this is definitely for people that have, the feminine experience. But if you don't, I'm sure this is just like probably entertaining, or maybe you're going to learn something about the women in your life.
I was going to say,
and the things that they experience.
Yeah, even if you're not a woman, you know women, and you should like understand our experience a little bit. So this episode could be good for anyone.
Everyone. Yep.
Anyone and everyone.
Perfect.
Well, what have you been up to? I guess we have to go all the way back because we missed a week. We have a lot to cover.
Well, Madison was in town last weekend and we had a fun time as always. I love hanging out with her. I'm like, which one of us is going to hard launch our new hobby?
Oh, I like you can take it away because you kind of started it. Yeah.
Right. So my boyfriend is a big
sorry.
I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend. What? My boyfriend? He is a big Smash Bros player. Super Smash Bros. I don't know. I don't even know the real term, but loves that video game. And he ended up having Madison and I like play it one night, and we both were like, wait, that was really fun.
Like can't get enough.
That was so fun.
Immediately
so
obsessed.
I bought the game. Yeah. We went to Target. She bought a Switch.
The next day.
And we've been gamer girls ever since. Madison is a natural. I kind of struggle with this game. Just hasn't quite clicked for me yet, but it is very fun still. But Madison, I see a very bright future
Thank
ahead for
you.
her in Smash. Yeah.
Thanks. I feel like we both maybe have a little bit of like obsessive personalities with stuff. Like we have
Uh-huh.
little hyperfixations and stuff. So this is definitely like the strongest hyperfixation I've had in a while. Like I think about it all day long to the
Mm-hmm.
point where I texted your boyfriend. Can we still not say his name?
Girl, I don't know.
I'm sick and tired of it. Let's stop hiding.
Okay, my boyfriend's name is Andrew. There you go. Now you have context and stories.
Yes. Okay. So I texted Andrew. I was like, do people stream this game? Because I think I'm gonna be a Twitch streamer. Like I think it's my journey. I think it's my future. And so when you all start seeing me stream on Twitch in like two
Right.
weeks, mind your business and let me get my bag.
Mm-hmm. You've got the perfect look.
Thank you. And
I would
I
watch.
thanks. I feel like I know nothing about well, I know nothing about video games in general. I've never played a
Mm-hmm.
video game. Intentionally, I never played a video game in my whole entire life because I knew that this would happen if I started.
Yeah.
And now we're here and I think I just have to like fully embrace it for the year or whatever until I'm over it.
I mean, like if this gets you a bag, then like it's worth it. I don't know.
Exactly. I would yeah,
Everything is business move. Baby, it's
for
a write
sure.
off.
Yeah, and I think it's just a cute fun activity kind of. Like
Yeah.
you just live stream. Okay. I make TikToks all day
Perfect.
long anyways.
Same
Like
thing.
don't even have to edit them if I just live stream.
That's true. I love that in our New Year's episodes, we were like, yes, we really want to find like a hobby that does not involve screen time. And we literally found the most screen intensive hobby.
No,
So,
I literally was thinking that like an hour ago. I got my screen time weekly notification or whatever. It was like the lowest it's ever been. It was like your screen time dropped like by 30%. I was like,
mm,
go me. Like that's incredible. I was like, maybe because like I was traveling, I was more present. Like, I don't know. No,
mhm.
it's because I've been playing video games
Yeah,
all day long.
just on a different device. Yeah.
It's sick. But I love it. It is really fun. I have no
And
regrets.
absolutely. And to balance it out, we are readers. We're in a reading era. I finally finished a book that I'd been working on for months. It was a great book. Loved it. Finally finished though, and now I've started a new book. So really it's all about balance in life and yeah, I don't feel bad or guilty about it. It brings us joy and it's fun. And we get to play together virtually, which is really cute and fun.
I know. I was literally going to say we were playing together this morning and then we were like, okay, last game and then we're going to read and then we're going to record. Like we have our boundaries set, we have our
Mm-hmm.
priorities straight. During the week, I will not let myself pick up my Switch until after 5 p.m. because I was like, that's actually not okay. Even if I have a day off, no gaming girl
Mm, yeah.
until the evening.
I think what's also fun is we can see when each other is online. So like there's no hiding.
I think I texted you. I don't know if you were on or if maybe somebody else was on. I couldn't tell. It just said one friend was online. I was like, wonder who it is, Andrew or Emma. But then I texted you. I was like, Smash?
Literally, she just texts smash question mark.
Smash?
Like,
No,
yeah.
I love it. And I'm holding back for now on getting into more games because I don't have the capacity for it right now. Smash is
Yeah.
kind of taken over.
Does not have the bandwidth.
I don't have the time. No. So we're just focusing on this for right now and I'm loving it.
Perfect.
And we
Yeah,
could make a whole episode about it.
we
Like
really could.
we
Like
gotta stop.
I think we must move on.
We must. We must.
Yeah. I guess we can just hop into the episode then.
Babe, what are you drinking? Oh,
Guys, I forgot. I hadn't even taken a sip yet. So I just threw together a quick little sody. It's a Coke Zero with some vanilla syrup and lime, true lime.
cute. Did you buy those cups?
No, so this had a soda in it earlier that came with my breakfast.
Okay.
And I'm just reusing because reusing single-use plastics is important, everybody.
It is, and it kind of makes the drink more fun.
So fun.
Yeah, and that has the sippy lid. I love a sippy lid.
I feel like my dad saves all his Dutch Bros cups, and those are the cups he uses in his home. So
Sustainable king. I love
literally,
it.
like, yeah,
He's
crusty
actually
ass Dutch cups. It's crazy.
he's unreal. The more I learn about him, the more he just keeps surprising me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is an interesting fellow.
an interesting Ben calls people interesting critters, and it kills me. I don't know why.
That's
He's
funny.
like, if he'd be like, wow, he is an interesting critter.
He sure is. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking second coffee of the day. I just
Cool.
made a cold brew with vanilla, the usual, but then I bought the caramel sauce because we had it at my parents' house when I was in town. Just a fun little drizzle on top. So I added that today for a little extra pizzazz.
Yeah, everybody, Madison made me the most delicious coffee when she was in town. I've been thinking about it ever since, and like I'm just chasing that high. Like I've never had something so good, even like coffee out in a coffee shop. Like it was just superior. So
Wow. Means a lot. Thank you. I take pride
mm,
in my coffee making.
you
So
should. Mhm.
yeah. It's really the Nespresso that's the key though. I That's pretty much it. If you gave me like an actual espresso machine, I would be like, hee hee. But yeah. Um I guess we should get into it now. We've
Yeah, now we
we've
can get it. Yeah.
we've yapped enough for the intro.
Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and dive into our girl talk topics. We have a few different themes we want to touch on. Nothing too structured. We're just gonna, do what we like to do best and yap about different things. Our first one is periods. It's a good
Questions, comments,
starter.
concerns?
Anyone
Yeah.
out there questions? I mean, I feel like so I started my period. I like give you the exact date. December 31st of 2010, which is actually true. It was New Year's Eve, so it's pretty memorable. I think it was 13. Yeah, 13. And honestly, I don't have any too troubling period symptoms other than like very depressed the few days before. Obviously, I get pretty bad PMS. Madison, I'm sure, knows this about
Mhm.
me. Yeah, like I can get a little hormonal and
Maybe a little
sue me.
moody, a little
Maybe,
grumpy,
maybe an attitude,
a little
perhaps.
mean.
Well, I personally don't think so, but I guess who am I to say? Um,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know
I
why
feel like I'm
you're cracking me up right now.
I
I'm gonna
know I
have the
really
giggles
am.
this whole episode.
I literally like when I get like this and Madison just laughs, like I
It
understand why
fuels
people
you.
do stand up. Like I
Yes.
like this is so fun. So yeah. What about you? Any like bad symptoms?
I don't know why you're so funny. Um, no, I'm the same. I actually also started my period when I was 13. I feel like that's kind of
Mm,
like a late bloomer vibe. I know a lot of when I talk about it with other girls, they're like, "Yeah, I started it when I was like 10 or something." I'm like, "Whoa." I
I
was
know.
like in elementary school. But I do remember a couple of my friends in elementary school had it and I was so jealous. I wanted my periods so
Isn't that
bad.
funny?
Yeah, but I didn't get it until I was going into freshman year of high school. Um, and my periods too are pretty mild, nothing too crazy, like nothing to write home about. I feel very lucky in that way because I feel like it's very painful for a lot of people, like to the point
Mhm.
where they're bedridden, like can't go to
It's
work, can't go to
debilitating
school.
for sure.
Yeah. So luckily I don't have anything crazy like that other than the occasional butt cramp, which,
Mm,
if you know, you know. Some girls get them, some girls don't. I'm a victim of the
she's
butt
a
cramp.
victim.
So I
I
don't I don't get tummy cramps. Just one or two in the butt per cycle.
I personally don't get that. So I do get the
Uh-huh.
tummy cramps. Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's so funny how really you either know or you don't though. Like
Yeah.
I'll bring it up to some people and they'll be like, I didn't know that was a thing. And then other people will be like, oh my God, like that's what it is. It happens every month. I'm like, yeah, girl, I don't know what it is,
Hmm.
but something's going on down there.
We'll
Something
we'll
a
do
little
a
weird.
poll on our Instagram. Let us
Oh
know.
my gosh, yes.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This week's it's like a cute like aesthetic background. Butt cramp or tummy cramp? That's too
That's too
much.
much. Oh, jinx.
Jinx.
Oh, this is weird.
Getting scary.
Ways to help period symptoms. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
So, if anyone else has any recommendations, let us know.
Yeah, I know. I feel like there is things you can do like long term, but I feel like there's really no like quick fix other than some pain, like some
Yeah.
Advil or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's just unfortunately something that most girlies have to deal with, and it sucks. It's not fun, but it's what we got to do.
Mm,
Do you use tampons?
yeah.
Me too. Did you always use tampons?
Um, I used pads for maybe the first year and a half or so, and then I actually had to teach myself how to use tampons.
Mm,
Pretty traumatizing, I will say.
yeah. That's rough. I my mom got me a pad and then I put it on for like 2 seconds and I was like, I don't like it. So I was like, give me a tampon. And I just went in the bathroom and did it first day of my first period
Wow.
ever. And I feel like that is not common at
Not
all.
common, no.
But I just went for it. Never looked back. Actually, I did use a menstrual cup for a little bit. Not the vibe. For me,
Mm.
personally. For me.
I just really, after reading the instructions, like I just truly did not understand how a tampon worked, and for some reason, it just took me like 10 tries.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally got there. Oh, and it was. I remember, I I truly didn't know anything. I had gotten like the cardboard kind on accident for my
Oh,
first. It was
chilling.
traumatizing,
Mm-mm.
barbaric, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'm also a really big fan of free bleeding towards the end.
Oh yeah. Last couple days, I'm over it.
Yeah, it's done when I decide. So.
And I actually we didn't talk about this last time, but this is a great point. I believe that I have manifested shorter periods. Like I'm not kidding. Because it used to be like 5 days, maybe on the 6th day even, like a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
bleeding. Now, 3 days max, done.
Wow.
Cuz
That's beautiful.
I just decided it was over and then eventually my body listened to me after
It
years
caught on, yeah.
of yeah, me being like we're done today. Then it just stopped. And
Hmm.
I've never told anyone that or talked about it because it sounds a little crazy. But it worked for me.
I believe it can be possible. I truly do. The brain
Yeah.
is a powerful thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Just gotta know how to harness it correctly.
And apparently I do.
Yep. She's really tapped in.
Yeah, it's one of my talents for sure. So if you want an ebook or anything, a
Mm,
guide on how to
yeah.
manifest shorter periods, I got you.
Love that. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. I guess we should get into our next topic, which is
Yeah.
kind of goes hand in hand. Birth control.
So I am on the pill. I don't love it. But I haven't had a horrible experience. I know some women have really awful experiences with any sort of like um hormonal form of contraception. I mean, safety is important first and foremost to use some sort of method
Mhm.
if you don't want to be pregnant, and you're having heterosexual intercourse, I suppose.
Mhm.
But yeah, currently on the pill. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, to discuss with my doctor about possibly getting a copper IUD. I almost said copper UTI. Hopefully not that,
Hopefully
but
not.
hopefully not that. But I am terrified of IUD insertions, so I'm gonna chat to her about that a little bit, see what she can do for me.
Yeah, you guys missed the the scrapped episode where I influenced Emma to get a copper IUD.
Yeah, since we last tried to record this, I have called the doctor, so
Yeah,
perfect.
because I have had one for years now. I think like
Mhm.
7 years or something, to the point where I have to get it taken out and get a new one placed soon, which
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to. Um, but I first went on like the implant,
Mm.
Nexplanon, I think it's called, like the one
Ugh,
in your
yeah.
arm.
I hear horrible things. Yep.
Terrible horror story. I had my period for 3 months after insertion, like every single day for 3 months, and it was terrible. And so I went to my doctor after like a month or so, and I was like, "Hey, I've been bleeding every day, and I am feeling a little bit homicidal and I don't feel
Mhm.
good." And she was like, "Okay, we can put you on birth control pills as well to regulate your period and like maybe even out some of your hormones," as if that makes sense. Like just pump you
Yeah.
with more. It's crazy. Um, but I was young and I didn't know. And so I was on the implant and then the pill at the same time. made it 10 times worse. Terrible. Like, never felt crazier. And I gave up after like 2 or 3 months. I was like,
Yeah.
you have to take this out of me immediately. Like, I am a danger to society. And so I was just after that, like, so traumatized by hormones and stuff. And I just was like, what can I do that is not hormonal? And then I don't even know if I had heard like of a copper IUD, but she told me about it and I was like, sure. So they took the implant out, put the copper IUD in. That baby's been in there for years, working great.
Wow. All right. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so hard too about finding like the right contraceptive is because every woman's body reacts to things differently, but like I only ever hear like the horror stories of things. So
Yeah.
like I'm afraid of all of the options. So I'm
Oh my
like, where's like
gosh.
the one that doesn't involve hormones but also doesn't involve like grabbing on to my cervix with tweezers and like I there's got to be another way.
Or like shooting a stick up my arm.
Yeah, like
Really, where's the good option? I'm wondering.
yeah, I'm not hearing it. I have heard recently in the news and everything that there are some new forms of birth control for men that are being tested. So maybe
Really?
that'll be on the horizon. Yeah.
Wow, I sure hope so. Yeah, because I really haven't had any issues with the copper IUD, but like still not awesome. And like
Right.
probably not even that well researched, like what actually is this piece of metal in my uterus doing? I'm not sure. Um it's just all forms of birth control are kind of scary to me, but like you said, very important if you are going to be sexually active to do something. So you have to pick one of them, but
Mm-hmm.
you never really know what the right option is until you try it and it either works for you or you have the worst couple months of your life. You never know.
Right. And if you are using birth control, it's probably because you are having sex. So let's talk about that.
Great segue. That was
Thank
perfect.
you. Thank you. No, I just wanted to throw this little topic in here because I feel like this is something not maybe a lot of people know about me. Obviously, I don't openly talk about my sex life on the internet.
Until
But
now.
I until now, baby. But I just feel like this is like an important way or like I don't know, thing to talk about. But essentially, I've been on birth control for the past 2 years. That's because I've only been sexually active for like the last 2 years. So I was 24 when I had sex for the first time, which I know compared to kind of societal norms is considered pretty old. But I mean, I don't think there necessarily is a timeline on things. But I feel like this is probably common in people who grew up in the church, for us specifically, like the growing up Christian. It was always like very important to the people around me and I guess myself that like I saved myself for marriage. And I never really struggled with that. Like in high school, I literally didn't even kiss a boy. Like I was not interested in anyone sexually.
Other than
College.
Cameron Dallas.
Okay. Jesus Christ. God almighty. That is, I haven't heard that name in years. Anyways, and no comment. No, so true. I was deep in my fangirl era. Like there was no real man in my life could even grab my attention.
No.
Oh yeah, college was like it's so weird because I started off college probably in like the peak of my religious beliefs. Like I was so strongly felt that like I should save myself for marriage. And then by the end of college, I had kind of like stepped away from the church and separated myself from these values because they were things that I just didn't align with anymore. And then I found myself being like 22 and not having had any sort of sexual experience and felt very like isolated in that because everyone else around me had. And I felt like everyone else was so experienced or like that's how I felt. And I was really intimidated in wanting to find like a serious, mature adult relationship, but like not having had experience under my belt, I guess. And it was also during COVID when I graduated. So didn't end up finding a boyfriend for like a few years. But long story short, I just wanted to say, like, it's the only thing that matters when having sex for the first time. Well, two things is three things. Um, Safety, obviously, consent, and then for me, it was just like making sure I was comfortable with that person or like comfortable in that experience. It didn't matter to me if I was like in love with them or I don't know. In the moment, it wasn't like I'm doing this because see a future with them. It was really just like I feel comfortable and I feel ready. And like that's what was important to me. You'll know when you're ready, and it's okay to not be ready at the same time as other people.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you said, just whenever you're ready and not doing it because you feel like you should or because you feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's what the other person wants or that's what your friends are doing or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it'll definitely be different for everyone. And no matter what, it's okay however it happens. I feel like there's so much like guilt and shame and like negative feelings towards sex
Mm-hmm.
in just our culture and also religion, obviously. And I feel like that's something a lot of people deal with, whether they end up having sex before marriage or save themselves for marriage and then like change their mind or change their religion or whatever. It's like always such complicated feelings around it and
Mm-hmm.
everyone's so different. But yeah, I feel like there's nothing wrong with doing the deed when you're ready
Mm-hmm.
and you have a safe space and a person that you're comfortable with, and it's just a part of life. We all do it. So
Yeah.
like let's just call it what it is. It's going to happen eventually, and
Yeah.
like Emma said, whether that's like later than what society deems as normal or earlier or whatever, you're fine. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of
Mm-hmm.
things. Like I remember in like high school or even college or whatever, it felt like it was such a big topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Like are you a virgin? Are you not? When did you lose it? And now it's like literally not a big deal, not even a topic
No.
at all. Like it actually doesn't matter.
No.
Um but yeah, it does feel like it matters and it's a big deal
Yeah.
when you're like trying to figure it all out.
Mm-hmm. And it's no one else's business, really.
Yeah.
Be like MYOB for real.
Wait, what does that mean?
Mind your own business.
Oh. MYOB, I'm gonna use that. That's great. I was like, bring your own what? Like try BYO, huh? Bring your own
Crying.
virginity.
Literally
Oh, that's so good.
crying. Moving on from sex. Let's get into relationship stuff. One thing that I think is so fun about Madison and I and many women out there. Well, okay. Men like to think that women are either crazy or they're not. But we're all a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We're just different kinds.
For sure.
We are the under the radar crazy. Like we seem like the chillest, coolest little gals. And I don't know anyone more nuts than her.
No, I was gonna say, I feel like people think that we're not crazy, or like our friends, even, or like people that we're newly in relationships with think we're not crazy. We still are, and we just tricked you. Gotcha, you're fooled. Because everyone's crazy. Everyone has a little crazy that can be unleashed. It presents differently in different people. Like you said, I feel like
Yeah.
we are covertly crazy. We are a little sneaky crazy. Like we're not going to be in your face crazy, but that doesn't mean that we're not just like other girls, and
Yeah.
all girls and boys and our non-binary friends are crazy.
Exactly. And one thing about kind of like the feminine experience in my experience is women always know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And men think that they like get by with things and they really don't. I think women's intuition and women's bodies are like communicate with us so well. Like we will always know if something's up, whether there's like evidence or not. Specifically with cheating, I think I see it online all the time. Or when girls are like, they'll say like your body will tell you if like that's the wrong person. I think
Mm-hmm.
that stuff is so real.
Yeah, you always have like a gut feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
the sick part is that if there is no evidence, you'll feel like the crazy one, but you're never the
Mm-hmm.
crazy one. You're
No.
always correct. Like
Yes.
deep down, I mean, it gets complicated if you have like past trauma with relationships and like insecurities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think bottom line, if you have a gut feeling and you're a woman, it's right. Even like you said with cheating, or even if you feel like somebody's pulled away from you, or you know what I mean? Like anything in
Yeah.
relationships, like something's up, the relationship's gonna end, something sneaky's going on. I feel like, yeah, you always get a vibe and people will ignore it for so long. And then in the end, they're like, oh, I should have listened to my gut. Like, I knew this
Mm-hmm.
all along.
That kind of goes along with our next topic, which is breakups. So, as we've discussed before, I went through a breakup last year where I was cheated on, and it
TBT.
definitely throwback Thursday, like that's crazy. Um,
Listen to our episode surprise. I got cheated on. We'll have it linked down below.
it's so wild to like look back, like in the moment, at least like that first week, was just like so, it felt like earth shattering. Like breakups can just be the worst feeling ever, even if it's not like even short relationships I've had, like it's always just been like a horrible, horrible feeling. Hate going through it, hate watching other people go through it. But I feel like I've always been the kind of person that like I dive in head first. Like I think the best way to get through it is to just face it head on. Like pushing those feelings aside or trying to distract yourself too much is just going to like prolong the healing experience. Like the work is going to need to be done, the feelings are going to need to be felt at some point. And so I'm really proud of how I handled it last year. I mean, it was really hard for the first week or two, I guess, and I feel bad for like the people that had to like see me like that. Like that really was so crazy. Like I don't know who that was, but
It's a little scary.
I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that was about, guys.
Like, that
But
wasn't me. I'm scared. Who
like I
was
really
that?
don't know who that was. Like I'm scared. But yeah, I bounced back pretty quickly because I think I've just like grown in my emotional intelligence, and therapy also helps. And like having a good support system and like people who know to check in on you, um, and letting people be there. It's hard because you just want to like seclude yourself, but the most important thing is to like not let yourself be alone too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you handled it so good, and I feel like you did like dive headfirst in, and just kind of allow yourself to like be sad and not act like
Mhm.
everything was like, oh, it's fine. Like, no, that's devastating, especially when it's somebody that you spend so much time with. Like,
Mhm.
relationships are just so intertwined with your whole entire life that, like, obviously when that ends, it's like you said, like earth shattering. Like, it feels like the world is gonna end.
Yeah.
But I feel like you just have to. I've always been a big believer in like cutting contact, like no
Oh,
contact
absolutely.
after breakups, especially if it's messy. But even if it's not, like, I don't really think there's any reason to be friends with your exes. Like,
No.
I just don't really think that serves anyone. And I think it kind of, for a lot of people, they might think it's helping because it doesn't hurt as bad if you can still,
Mhm.
have like small talk and reach out or maybe see your ex every once in a while. But I feel like it just prolongs the healing process because you're never fully letting go. Like, you have
Absolutely.
to just cut them off and move on. Like, you're never going to move on if you still even have a little bit of contact with your ex, I feel like.
I agree 100%. I've always been a no contact girl. And like if you need to block, then block. Like I've never really been like huge on blocking unless like there's a reason to, but it's important to like detox them from your life to like really start fresh, get used to your new routine, your new lifestyle, really, like you were saying, like it can change your whole life if you were in like a very serious relationship. So I think, yeah, cleansing your life of them and their energy, even when it hurts really bad, is really important for the healing journey.
Definitely. I feel like people kind of disguise it a lot as like getting closure when they keep
You
talking to
don't
their
need
ex.
closure.
Babe, there's no closure to be had. Like,
Mm-mm.
the case is closed. That's the closure.
Yeah,
Like, we're done and we're moving on. We got to keep it
yeah.
pushing. I feel like people, and maybe, if it's a complicated breakup, have a little closure chat, like, that's okay. But you don't need another one, and you definitely don't need another one or another one. Like,
No.
people be having closure talks for months. I'm like, what could we be talking about? Like, it's over. But yeah, I feel like it is just kind of like a safety net for a lot of people to like still be holding on by a little bit.
Mhm.
But I don't think it ever really serves you.
And I think it's just like the fear of being alone. Like it's hard to really accept that fact. But I don't know, it's so nice to like jump forward however long it's been and it's like, wow, I'm actually so happy and like life did move on. Life got better and was better than it was before. Like I don't know. It's hard to see that in the moment to like really look in the future and feel hopeful, but you'll like without a doubt every time you always come out of it stronger in you're going to feel happy again.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a post breakup clarity period where like
Mhm.
maybe the first week to the first month, like you can't even really see clearly, like you don't even know
Yeah.
what's going on, and then after that you're like, oh my god, like why was I sad, like I'm fine
Mhm.
without them, like I lived before them and I can live after them, like
Exactly.
you just realize that you're fine by yourself and like you never really needed that specific person. And maybe I feel like a lot of the times it's more so the loss of having someone rather than like the loss of having that person, which
Amen. Yeah.
is sad, but
It's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess to kind of tie up the relationship talk, we can also dive into kind of our relationship with womanhood or like stereotypes in with women or I don't know, life paths. I feel like this is something really prevalent in us lately because I don't know, like once you well, I guess it can happen at any age or maybe it doesn't happen at all, but Madison and I lately have like really been in our wanting to be housewives era.
Hmm.
Like I want to be a mom, like work from home or not work at all. And like that sounds so nice.
Hmm.
But part of me is like, I don't know, it's you feel torn between like being like the girl boss, like working woman, and I love that. But like it's also okay to want different things. And it's not like anti-feminist, I guess, to feel like you would be really happy living a life as like a housewife.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's always changing with me personally, and I feel like for a lot of girls I know or like
Mm.
friends that I talk to about it, like I know Emma and I both went through a period of time. Like I until I met Ben, I was adamant that I did not want children. Like I was like, I
Mhm.
don't really feel like I'm meant to be a mom. Like I don't want to procreate with any of these people. And then I met Ben and I was like, I want his baby. Like I want a baby with him. And so I feel like it's okay if like your feelings change even about like marriage or like you said career
Mhm.
or what that is going to look like for you and your partnership and your life. Yeah, I feel like I am always going back and forth, but I'm also realizing that like we have time to do it all, really. Like
Yeah,
I could pop out a baby tomorrow. In 5 years, they're gonna be in school, and then I can like be a girl boss and like start a business or something. Like
so real.
you really don't have to be tied down to one or the other. Yeah, but right now I am in my I want babies and I want to bake bread and I want to bake
Mhm.
cookies and I want to raise children type of vibe. So that's where I'm at.
That's also where I'm at. You know what I fantasize about that I see on TikTok a lot?
Hmm.
The wives that like pack their husband's lunch for work.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that so bad. And like I feel embarrassed saying that, but that's what I'm trying to like I shouldn't feel embarrassed to like I don't know. I think I just have a nurturing personality and I actually really like enjoy cooking and like making food for people and so that is a fantasy of mine.
Yeah, I feel like it almost nowadays is like taboo to want that. Like
Yeah.
I see do you know Nora, Nora Smith and
Mhm.
Lucky Blue? People were like loving her for a while cuz she makes cooking videos like this is what my husband eats in a day and like she cooks all of
Mhm.
his meals. And then suddenly I've been seeing like so much hate for her because they're like why can't he cook his own meal? Which like true, he could and I'm sure he
Yeah.
does sometimes, but also it's okay if she makes her husband dinner. Like, and it's
Yeah.
okay if you don't. And it's okay if your husband does the grocery shopping and the cooking or if you do. Like, obviously everyone's different, but I feel like it is almost like shameful to say that
Mm.
nowadays.
Mhm. I think as long as like both parties feel like happy and supported and loved, then like that's what matters. Like if you're miserable and you're like, I wish my husband would like pick up a damn dish or like a pan himself, then like, yeah, that talk needs to be had. But like if you're happy, like for me, I think it comes down to like my love languages. Like acts of service and like gift giving are like my love, the way I like to express love to other people. So like if I care about you, like, oh my God, I would love nothing more than to like cook you dinner. Like,
Hmm.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's so sweet and beautiful.
Yeah.
Girls in the kitchen, and that's okay.
And that's okay. And it's okay if they're not and they don't want to be.
Right.
It's all okay.
Yes.
Well, that was it for this episode. We love our ladies out there, our folks having the feminine experience. Wishing you all the best. I don't know. Hopefully, this is like validating, just like navigating life as a woman can be difficult sometimes, but there's also nothing more beautiful than like the camaraderie of ladies and girlhood. This is like year of the Barbie. Well, I guess that was last year. This episode just gives like Barbie vibes. Like I would love to give a nice hug to all of our ladies out there.
No,
Kisses
same.
to everybody
Kisses on the lips for
on the
everyone.
lips.
Because at
All
the
my
end of
Barbies out there.
yes, at the end of the day, we are girls. We love our girls, and we just love you guys because
I
most of
love
you
you.
probably
Yeah.
are girls. And if the guys are
Yes.
listening too, we love you for making it through this episode.
Yes, so true. If you enjoyed this episode or enjoy band practice, make sure to follow the show on whatever you're listening on so you can stay up to date with future episodes. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at bandpractice.podcast to keep up with our cute little posts.
For sure. We'll have it all linked in the description or in the show notes. Depends if you're watching YouTube or audio. But we'll have our personals and our band practice channels linked. Highly recommend giving them all a follow because you want to keep up with the girlies. You do. I know you do.
We love you all so much. As we said, we really cannot express our love for you enough.
We are
Thank you,
once again
band.
saying we love
We are
you.
I'm once again letting you know I love you. And thank you for listening. And we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.